Hey guys, my name is Fascinated Troy, and today I'm going to show you how I make unique bass lines using Massive's Performer. Here is an example. Go ahead and freeze that really quick so my CPU doesn't blow up. So that is the style of bass line we're going to make. It is using this here, that Performer and Massive. To give it that movement that we're looking for. So I'm not going to make this exact bass for you, but we are going to go ahead and make a patch from scratch, and I will show you how I get these types of sounds using Massive. So what I have here is a blank Massive patch. Alright, we're going to be using all three oscillators, and we're actually going to be using two filters. So first thing that I do when I come into Massive is I turn this level up on the envelope 4 because that's the output envelope, and I click this restart via gate button there. It always sounds better when I do, so that's how I do it. Go ahead and take oscillator 1 down 2 octaves, so minus 24, just so we can get that low end sound that we're looking for when making these kinds of basses. Okay, a good start is to find your wavetable. So this time we're going to be using the AI wavetable, and if you're new to Massive, I recommend going in there and kind of playing around with some of these wavetables and getting a feel for them. As you can see, it's kind of a talky wavetable, and I really like that a lot. So what I like to do is just kind of find a sweet spot, and so that way I can see where I want to modulate. So I like that section there, so I know that I'm more than likely going to be modulating that. What I'm going to do is use a bend minus plus for this one. Alright. I think I like the intensity around there. We're going to modulate that as well, so I like that wavetable. And then I'll turn that off and kind of see the next one that I want to layer. So with this one, I'll just do minus 12, so it's just down 1 octave, so they can be on different octaves, which will give the sound more width. Alright, so coming into our second wavetable, let's go with a carbon. Why not do the carbon? Really nasty sounding wavetable. Alright, nice. And then what I'm going to do for the third one is I am just going to go to sine square, and the reason that I'm doing that is I'm just going to use a sine wave just to kind of give the low end kind of that sub. So what we want to do is bring this down 2 octaves so we're really low, and when it's this way it's square, this way sine, so we're just going to keep it on sine and keep it on spectrum. Alright, and now we can go ahead and activate both of these, and we're going to be controlling the movement of the sound using a Performer. So what the Performer is basically just an LFO that you have total control over. Alright, so you want this this fader to the top, and we're going to go ahead and press sync, and we'll put it on 1/8 for now. Okay, and let's go ahead and just draw a little pattern in here. We can adjust this as we go, but this is just to kind of give us the basis. Go ahead and give it some movement, and we'll take it from there. Alright, so bring this back. And so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to turn the amp down on these oscillators, because I actually want to control the volume completely using my Performer. Okay, so I'll turn the first one all the way up, and I'll turn the second one not quite so high, and the third one I'm going to go ahead for the low end sine that we're going to use, turn that, I'd say, about right there for now. We can always mess with that later. Alright, so now I have some modulation on my oscillator. So I want to add some distortion. This will automatically make the sound louder. I'll go to my classic tube. As you can see, it'll definitely increase the presence of the sound. I'm going for kind of a dirty sound here, so I turn the drive up quite a bit, okay? And then next I'm going to add a dimension expander with a pretty low size and around like a mid dry wet or somewhere around there. added a lot to the sound immediately, as you can see. Okay, so now what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to phase my second oscillator. This is a really cool effect that I use a lot in Massive. I want to turn it down so we don't get a lot of high frequencies from it. So turn on your modulation oscillator and click on phase and then click 2 because we want to do it to number 2. So I'll turn these two oscillators off so we can just hear what we're doing to the second oscillator with the phase. Changes the sound quite a bit. I'm actually going to bring that down more. I want to. Really cool stuff, alright? So now we can kind of modulate this. See, this is giving it movement, the movement that we have drawn here. So, and we can give the phase a little movement as well. I don't want to do too much. Alright, making some progress. Let's go ahead and give this some movement here. I kind of like this area. Alright, I kind of like the way that sounds and I move it there as well, so let's add that. Alright, cool stuff. Alright, so I'm going to give this just a little bit of feedback, not too much. And we'll add some bright noise just for the very top end of the sound. So I'm going to turn the color up, and I'm really not going to turn the amp up too high, but I am going to modulate that up just a little. That will literally just give those very, very top frequencies some life there. So just making the sound fuller. I add my low end here with this sine and just give it that top with that bright noise there. Okay, so now we can have some fun and move on to our filter section. This is my favorite part. So we're going to be using both filters, and we're actually going to be moving back and forth between the two using our performer as well. So we're going to modulate that as well. I think it's really cool stuff. For this sound, I am going to want to use a band reject. Alright, this is one of my favorite filters for making these kinds of basses. So let's go ahead and hear what this sounds like with the band reject filter. See, I like that section there a lot. I know I want to modulate that. Let's go ahead and add our performer on here. Very nice. We'll just give it a little bit of resonance and maybe modulate the bandwidth. Just a little bit of modulation on the bandwidth there. Cool. Alright guys, so now we will go ahead and move on to our second filter. Let's add a double notch. I really like the effect that double notch gives. We're going to go ahead and put that here in the middle. We want to turn the volume of both of them up and go ahead and slap this performer right here. So this is the mix. It's the mix between the first and the second filter. And so what I'm going to do is click here and drag down. And what this is going to do is it's actually going to make this movement between both of our filters. So you get both of them there going on. Go ahead and give this just a little resonance. And we're going to modulate this too. We're modulating everything. See, really cool stuff, and I feel like that double notch filter really helps sound speak a lot of the time. So if I'm going for this kind of bass, like I will definitely use that double notch. It's great for these types of sounds. Okay, and we're going to come down here and we are going to add a parabolic shaper. Let's see. Go ahead and turn the dry wet up just a little bit, drive up just a little bit, and we'll play with it. Okay. Yeah, I think those settings are good there. The drive just pointing barely under the E here, and we'll keep the dry wet about there. I think that sounds good. Okay, so a lot of the times when these sounds come about, it's just just messing around with things and seeing what sounds good and just finding the sweet spot for your settings. And most of the most interesting sounds that I've made have been honestly by accident. So just get to know the synth, and cool things will happen when you just spend some time just having fun. All right, and we'll go ahead and let's add a frequency shifter here. I believe that is what I did in the last one. So I'm going to turn the pitch about here, and let's play with these settings here. Very low, dry, wet. All right. We're going to keep the very, very dry with the settings on that. We'll come into our EQ, turn that on. You can boost the low shelf and boost the high shelf just a little bit, and just barely tap that. It will turn the frequency down a little bit. So if you plan on using a sub layer under this, you're obviously going to be EQing out the low end frequencies. So it would be really unnecessary to do a boost in the low end inside of the synth, or even to have this third oscillator adding low end as well. So this step here with this oscillator and boosting the low shelf here would be completely unnecessary if you plan on layering this sound with the sub in your track. So, and you can always just come in here and into the performer, draw in your own waves here, and you can play with this as much as you want and make some really, really cool stuff. So I recommend using this if you're trying to be unique, and really fun. All right, guys, so I really hope that you were able to take something from this video, and if you do like these type of videos and you want me to make more of them, just drop me a like, comment. And if you have feedback for me, if you think it was total shit, I'll take that as well. You're not going to hurt my feelings. The reason I'm doing this is just because I have fun doing it, and I hope you can take something from it, and we can continue to put out more content like this, because this is really fun to do. And drop me a subscribe if you like these videos, and I will keep pumping them out. So thanks for watching. If you made it all the way to the end, you're the shit, and I will see you next time.